Okay, bonjour, and we're live. Or no, are we? Are we live? No. Trying to figure this out. Bear with me. Okay, we'll start over. How do I go up? I had that option yesterday to go up. Right? We're live, recording. Okay, cool. As you can hear, I'm doing laundry, as a gentleman does. But bonjour! My name is John Roberts. Welcome to the Johnny R podcast, live from the Red Lake Nation. I got cut off yesterday because they saw me podcasting it up, so they decided to stare at me. Threw me off a little bit, but I was talking about what our people are going through around here with addiction and alcoholism, depression and anxiety and all that business. Got to a point where I got like that. I was in it actually started like late 90s when I started getting panic attacks, and that went on for a few years. But I finally went in to see somebody, and they told me what it was. I didn't believe it. So, but there was a point. I think it was 2 or 3 years into college. I had did I have the summer off? 04? No, 04 is when I burned out. Even when I was younger too, like teens, early 20s. There'd be times I couldn't sleep. I'd be up all day, and then I'd end up staying up all night too, till the next morning, just constantly worrying about everything, my family, and not having money, and thinking about not being able to support my family, and just the struggles of being a young parent. That's what literally kept me up at night, and I was like that for, I don't know. It got to a point where it affected my schooling and affected the home life, and it was hard to go to school and stay working and have a family. I had 3 kids at the time and working part-time, and it kept me up at night. And then I just decided one day, I took a ride and told myself I wouldn't go back home until I got a decent job. I grew up, I'm not very well connected, I know a lot of people, but I don't know a lot of people, I got to a point where I talked to a couple of people that I knew, and some I didn't know. I just walked into tribal programs and asked if they were hiring, and got the same thing, put an application, we'll find something for you. But I heard that for years, and to this day it still took me 18 months to find a job in Red Lake, the one I have now, because I quit working at the school in June of 2011, and 2014. I didn't get hired again until October 2015, so almost 18 months. No, that's what? 16 months, whatever. But it takes a lot to get hired around here, because I don't know anybody. I don't have any political contacts. I don't. My family's not a powerful family around here. I'm just a I don't know, regular guy from the res, no contacts. But anyway, where was I going with that? Oh, stressed out where I couldn't sleep, so I, up all night for, I don't know. It was becoming a concern for the wife, and there were times where I'd have panic attacks in the middle of the night. I'd just pop up out of bed and be scared something was happening to me. Heart attack. I don't know. For some reason, I always thought it was a heart attack coming, but the first thing I thought of. But for years, I was like that. I would just pop up out of bed, scared, not knowing what was happening to me. I would pace around middle of the night. There was no comforting me. My wife, the wife tried her best to comfort me when I was like that, but I couldn't. Nothing could comfort me because I didn't know what was happening. Then after, I don't know if I got the panic attacks under control because I still feel them coming on. Got the anxiety thing and stress, and they're telling me I'm severely depressed, but I don't feel severely depressed. I just feel stressed out from work, and my job's pretty stressful. But whatever. So I got to a point where I did get a job. Started working at Red Lake Gaming as a I wrote policies and procedures. The late Charlie Prentice hired me because I was heavy into writing at the time, so he figured that's what I would do. So I helped out with that. Did that for a year and a half. So, but it still got to me where I had to make an adult choice. My habits weren't the worst, and my life was crumbling due to the stress and the alcohol adding to that stress. And never got into drugs. I was always scared of drugs, so I stayed away from the drugs. Sound like a nerd. The drugs. But alcohol did enough to damage me. I don't know if it had a physical, damaged me physically, internally, but I don't know. It probably has, but I just haven't really looked into that yet. Probably got a liver problem like other natives, but I didn't really drink that hard. I was a binge drinker. I'd go out, drink for 10, 12 hours, slamming beers after beer, and I rarely went on two-day binges. I remember one time I did, but that was dark times. You try to, like I said before, had to try and hide from reality because I was going down the wrong path. Made a lot of mistakes, blamed everybody but myself. But nowadays I'm not. Still struggle. Like I said, I'm still struggling, but not as bad as I used to be. Now it's more like a good kind of stress. Stressed, but I'm lucky to have a job. I'm stressed with raising kids, but we're lucky to have these kids in our lives. People probably ask, well, why don't you go out and drink anymore? I said, I don't know how to act when I'm drunk, so I better just keep that part of my life hidden, I suppose, because I could go out and drink, but I'd rather raise these kids, raise these kids that didn't have a probably wouldn't have had a stable environment if they weren't with us. I think about that every day. Every time I get stressed, I think about where our kids would be if they weren't with us, and it's kind of heartbreaking to think of it like that. But they're with us, and they'll be well taken care of. Anything else is just, don't even have to think about anything else. But there's a times though we need a break. We need a break from the chaos of raising. Oh wow, we are. Christ, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, or whatever time it is. But no, we need a break. We need a break every once, twice a week, which is much needed. Sometimes, like the other night, we just sat around watching TV, and pretty much all we need. Sometimes we'll take a nap, but I get that feeling, man, I should be doing something. So I'm usually out working on the yard or doing this. One thing I've been trying to do is write a book or write a script, because there are times where I get inspired from other artists or directors, writers, and keep thinking, man, fuck, the stories we have around here should be shared, and what we come from, what we want to be, how hard it is to get there, and it really is hard to succeed around here. There isn't much. Like I said, I'm lucky to have a job, and lucky to be sober, drug free. Trying to do the right thing, like that Spike Lee movie, Do the Right Thing. But it's like anybody else, we have struggles, but we fight through them. You fight. It was a long road to get where I am right now. Not that I'm a huge success, but it really did a lot of patience, a lot of biting the bullet, and just giving up bad habits. Tomorrow it'll be 9 months since I've had a Coke, a carbonated beverage, a soda pop, and it'll be 4 months since I've had a candy bar. I've had drinks every now and then, but not enough to, there's a point where when I'm drinking, I get to a point where, I'm feeling good, I should have another one. And I just keep going. But last time I had a drink was, I think when I went on stage. Last time I went on stage, I just had a, bracer, because the build-up kills me every time. Comedy, the build-up, waiting to go on. Speaking of which, I had a surprise gig last week. I stepped in for my bro Tito last week out in Shooting Star, and I was probably, I don't know, I wasn't feeling that crowd, and I feel like, I don't know, once it gets in your head mentally, it's stuck there, and you try to fight through it, and sometimes it doesn't work. For the first time in my career, I grabbed that mic and tapped it, and this fucking thing on, because nobody was replying to me. I wasn't getting a response, and that kind of frustrated me, and I couldn't get it back, man. But I just did my 30 minutes, and fuck, I gotta go. There are shows like that. We're not gonna hit a home run every time. It's like baseball. You might get a hit. If I hit a home run, you might strike out. So, but the success rate is a little higher in comedy than batting, I suppose. Facing a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. Okay, that was a bad analogy. Maybe free throws. No, it's not as intense though. But anyway. But yeah, I had a show last week and it didn't go well, but had fun with Casey Nicholson and met Wolf Brown for the first time, and I didn't get to. I saw Casey said that fucking guy. He just killed, man. I don't know how he does it. True professional. I didn't get to watch Wolf Brown because I had to come back for my kids got stranded in Bemidji because we are having trouble with our other vehicle, so I couldn't watch Wolf Brown. So, but other than that, I got a wide open calendar. I go to Sioux Falls in October for the Night Shield show. He's releasing his Savivor, I think how you say it, Savivor. King of the 605 invited me down to host his release party, so I'll be doing that. And then I got Northern Lights Casino in November, where I'm gonna have all new stuff. I'm retiring my act I've been using for the last few years, because this will be like my third or fourth time being at Northern Lights in the last 3 years. So you guys are getting something new. I haven't written it. Well, I have a couple things written down, but I'm gonna come up with some new stuff and see how that works, and just keep adding. I'm yawning. I don't know why I'm yawning. That's coming up. That's all I got, man. I don't. It's comedy's been good to me, but it could be better. So I'll just keep on keeping on, trying to get those gigs. If you want to book me, go to johnnyrcomedy@gmail or at the Johnny R. Instagram and Twitter and Facebook too, I think. But the email is johnnyrcomedy@gmail. Or else you can go to johnnyrcomedy.com. I just start putting stuff up there again, and I did a video about Daryl Seekey and our chairman Daryl Seekey. Every time he ends a speech, he does the Ric Flair woo, does that. And so I told him I'm coming back for my Ric Flair. I want to be Ric Flair. How dare he try and be Ric Flair when I want to be Ric Flair? So you can see that on my Facebook page and on my Twitter page too, I believe, at the Johnny R. That clip was too long for Instagram, so it's on Facebook and it's on my website too, so johnnyrcomedy.com. I don't put much on all I put on my YouTube page is I have a couple clips on there, but otherwise I just record the podcast on Easy Audio Recorder app I have on my MacBook, and then upload it to that. I just did the previous episode now, so that should be on the YouTube page. I don't know how it sounds because the mic is kind of too close to me last night when I was talking. So, but right now I'm just taking a day. I need to get away from the world, I suppose. So I'm hiding in my basement. There are just days where, like in that Scott Pilgrim movie, gotta take a mental health day. So because that's what I need. Just keeping to myself today, even though I'm supposed to be out doing things, like work and cutting my grass, but I gotta wait for my wife to fix my lawnmower. The pulley keeps coming loose, and I'd get in there, but my hands are too fat and I can't reach. So she's my handyman. Waiting for that. But other than that, I just want to do this to finish that story I had about my anxiety and depression and alcohol and panic attacks, and so that's why I come back for that, because I know it got cut off last night because people were watching me. I hate when people watch me. I don't know what it is. It just bugs me when people stand there. I don't know, they were joking around, but that's still, I can't function when I'm not prepared for people to stare at me. But that's all I got. And I will, when I think of something clever again, I'll try and do it again. So that's all I got.